Hi, I am Harsh. I work as a senior Elasticsearch Engineer at Hyperflex. My role focuses on designing or optimizing or managing, large-scale Elasticsearch clusters, right? So, and these surrounded supported tools like systems built around as Elasticsearch as an ecosystem. Doing that, I help organizations to have visibility into their data, into their systems. Uh, I work closely with their engineering team, their operations team, their product teams to build a scalable search solution, say utilizing Elasticsearch as a search tool to build an analytics engine or observability solutions around it. We use Elasticsearch as an observability support tool or a log and monitoring aggregate.
I see. Yeah, that's really cool. What would you say is your like day to day as a senior Elasticsearch engineer?
I would say I basically work on everything, right? The Elasticsearch, its core related components such as Logstash, Kibana, or any other sort of tool that we are using with it. Uh, so basically, the work include mostly onto the performance tuning and troubleshooting if there are any issues arise. But I also design new solutions, systems according to the business use case and any sort of problem where Elasticsearch can come into the picture and solve it for the organizations.
All right. So now, based on your bios, you were a software engineer. I'm pretty sure you probably started as like just a traditional software engineers. So what made you like transitions to like data observability engineers, especially with Elastic?
So when I started as a software engineer, I enjoyed building applications, right? But then I become interested into what happens when software goes into the production environment, right? So when the software is in production, how do these organizations make sure that their software doesn't just crash in production, right? It's completely alive, it's available to every customer, and it's performant and it's reliant. How can this organization trust their application, their software when it's deployed to its end user? Searching around that, digging around that, I got to know that there is this observability which this organization uses to monitor their systems to understand what is happening, how is it happening, if anything goes wrong, to catch it pretty fast. So that's what introduced me to Elasticsearch observability, since it the intersection between the infrastructure or the data and any sort of business outcomes, right? So I realized that this type of visibility is what helps this organization to be one step ahead of whatever is going to happen. So
Oh
it's made
yeah.
me to learn more about it, and that's how I started about Elasticsearch.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's really important steps. I think instead of you like troubleshooting, you learn it and prevent before it actually happens. Can you share a stories of your favorite projects you have worked on so far about like on Elastic or especially at Hyperflex?
Okay, so one of my projects involved designing and deploying a large scale observability solution or a platform for an enterprise, right? So they were processing billions of events, or say they were ingesting billions of logs or other sort of events into Elasticsearch, right? So we have to optimize their Elasticsearch architecture in such a way that it is performant and reliant, right? So we use the indexing strategies, we automated the lifecycle management, and then we built around the Kibana dashboards on top of their data. What we were seeing, after doing all this thing, we were the organization or the client was able to reduce their troubleshooting time and their operational efficiency rose. So so that was kind of a success metric for us, because we were seeing it like once the client had all the information in a GUI format, say Kibana dashboard, right? They were able to quickly figure out where things are going wrong, and they were able to get onto those troubleshooting steps to fix that.
Very exciting. So how would you describe the cultures inside Hyperflex?
The culture around Hyperflex is built around innovation and, I would say, collaboration, right? So we are always collaborating with each other, and we are always driving towards uh, a new approach, a new solution, innovating something, creating something out of it, right? So and we encourage people to share their ideas, take ownership of whatever you want to work on, and learn continuously as well. So the whole culture is with emphasis on solving complex problems together.
Yeah, that's very true. I feel like based on my experience, I've never seen any company that encourage learning this much before, like
Yeah.
truly encourage learning. Cool. All right. Any words for someone who is considering joining Hyperflex?
Okay, so first of all, if you want to work with talented people and you want to solve complex problems, you want to learn continuously, right? So Hyperflex is an excellent place to build your career, right? So you will have opportunities to work with whatever new technologies around in the observability space, in the security space, in the search space, aside from Elasticsearch as well, right? So we always emphasis on to learn on new technologies, whatever the current trend is in market, and you'll also have the opportunity to contribute onto meaningful projects, right? Some in a whether be it in a as a support role or whether it be working as in a hands-on role. So you'll always have the opportunity to work on something.
Yeah, that's very true. So if you have to describe one word for Hyperflex, what would it be?
So I don't know if there is a word which conjugates work plus learning plus fun, right? So
It can be three.
so it's like that. So work is the part of your job, the role. You are here to achieve something, you are here to build something, and you should do it, right? Along the way, you pick up things, you pick up on your own, or someone teaches to you, your co-workers, and you learn more about it. So that's come the learning, right? So aside from work and learning, we always tend to keep the fun around, right? The fun is always around the corner whenever the weekend is coming.